Good evening, everyone. This is the Air Conservation Commission meeting. It is Thursday, August 28th, 2025. Commissioners in attendance this evening. We have Jenna Maya as member, George Bacon as member, Jess Cucino, member clerk, Mark Phillips, vice chair, Heather Hampson is our conservation agent, and John Schmallenberger, chair. Do you approval of the agenda?
I have no changes.
Motion to approve the agenda as written.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Passes unanimously. All right. Approval of the meeting minutes for July 24th, 2025. It seems so long ago. Any changes, comments? Okay. Then hearing none, is there a motion to approve the meeting minutes for July 24th, 2025 as written?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Passes unanimously. First item this evening is a discussion, the Eagle Scout project at Pine Meadow Conservation Area. Could you join us up, please? It's nice to see you again. I was out in Pine Meadow 2 or 3 days ago. Came upon a bench.
I
Have a seat.
apologize, the thing's not working, so she sent me pictures.
Oh,
and
you
I- and
did?
And
Oh,
unfortunately, yeah,
yeah,
it's
get her name.
not connecting, so I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Trying to restart it and see if we
Can you tell us your name for the record, please?
Audrey Langley.
Thank you. And you're trying to get some photographs?
Yeah, she sent me some. So we went out on Saturday, Saturday, and she put out the 3 benches. I showed her the location. We had to alter the third one so it wouldn't be in the conservation restriction from Autumn Ridge. So we put it,
Where was that one?
so there was gonna be one, overlooking the upper Pine Meadow Pond. But that
Correct.
ends up being in the conservation restriction, and we're not allowed to have structures per the conservation restriction, so we had to change the location of that. So, I went out and tried to scope a new location. So there is we went from Oak Ridge Drive from that trailhead, and there's a spot there. It's pretty flat that the trail kind of splits off.
Mhm.
When you get close to the water.
Yep.
The way to tell where that is, there's a nice sign that's being eaten by the tree.
Oh, I've seen that. Yep. Yeah, I know the one.
So that's where the third bench got put.
Okay.
You can see Flanagan Pond through the trees.
You kind of can. The other 2 benches are overlooking the pond some, so.
If you can't get it to let me have pictures.
Yeah, we're gonna try. It's not.
She's got him on the phone there.
Yeah, she's gonna first. So you can pass those around. Unfortunately, it's not connecting to Outlook.
This was the start of the day when we were loading them up into the truck. There's a total of 94 pictures.
Oh, I'm not going to look at them all.
So the original plan was to build them on site, but we chose to change that and build them in my backyard and then transport them fully built.
You can have a seat. So they look very substantial. They must have been really heavy.
They weren't too heavy.
Yeah.
When we were transporting it from where we built it to where we had it so we could like water seal it, it took about 2 of us
Yeah, that's it?
to walk.
Huh.
Yep, it took about 2 of us. And then we had a group of about 6, 7 come, and we carried them out to all spots. We used a wheelbarrow, and then when we couldn't use the wheelbarrow anymore, we picked up the bench and we carried it to the spot and rested it down.
Oh, it's a total of 3.
Total of 3 benches, yes.
That's great. Yeah.
Great job. They look awesome.
So,
So is there something that we need to do?
I just thought you guys would like to
I-
hear all about it.
Yeah.
Good job, well done.
Thank you for doing that.
Yeah.
Was it a fun project?
I enjoy it. I like building. I like getting hands-on with activities.
Yep.
So
Power tools did you get to use?
I couldn't use the table saw. I got to use an electric screwdriver though.
Yeah, those are fun.
Yeah, well, congratulations. And thank you too, very much. Appreciate it. If there's anything else you want to do out there, let us know.
If you have plenty of projects, there were gonna be 2, 3 more.
Yeah, I got
Any more
contacted,
scouts?
I got contacted by another one, so I was gonna bring that
Oh.
up. Figure
We
if you
have
guys had any
4
ideas.
scouts that are star in life, and that'd be looking at a pretty good project. So our troop currently has 4 that are on the verge of working towards Eagle.
The next couple years or next
Great.
year?
Within this next year, we
I don't know if
have
it's somebody that's
we have 2
probably
life
called a
scouts
scout
and
project.
1 2 star scouts, 2 star scouts who are the star scouts are close to ranking up to life, in which case they can start their project. And 2 of our life
Yeah,
scouts are getting ready to begin theirs.
help with all the plans too.
So they're starting to vet out their options as to what they want to do with projects.
That'd be great. That'd be great. Yeah, have them contact us.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I can give them Heather's email and give her a heads up.
All right.
Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
We're really hard to deal with too.
Yeah.
We take our jobs super seriously, obviously.
Well, nothing says you can't have a little fun while you're doing good work, right?
This job you have to.
Next item this evening is a request for determination of applicability, Department of Public Works, Groton Shirley Road and Bly Street, roadway reclamation work along Groton Shirley Road and Bly Street. We have here we are. Hello, how are you, sir?
Good, how are you?
All right, thanks. Your name for the record, please?
Yes. Matt Hernan, town engineer with Public Works. Yeah, good to see you all too.
Give us a little update on your project.
Yeah, pretty straightforward project. So most of our road paving projects are just, we remove the top layer of pavement and resurface. This project's a little bit more in depth where we're actually pulverizing the road completely till it's pretty much dirt. That gets all mixed up, reshaped, recompacted, and then we actually do the paving. So it's a lot more disruptive than the typical paving project.
Is it just in worse shape? That's why you have to tear it all up?
Exactly. So any road you see with a lot of potholes, that's kind of type of road that we use this treatment on, just because the taking off the top layer of pavement, just the same problems are going to keep happening.
Right.
So.
And what section is this again?
This is Groton Shirley Road, not the newly paved portion, but between Fitchburg Road and where the train tracks cut through.
Thanks.
I do have a sketch in the.
Yeah, do you need
Yeah.
a copy of it? Yeah, unfortunately, somehow the laptop is from the internet and I can't bring it back, so. Bring anything up on the screen.
When are you planning on doing this?
So the town contractor said next month. Well, it's just a couple days now, but it would likely be the end of September when they'd be starting this.
How thick will the asphalt be once you do the 2 layers?
They try to do it as quick of a turnaround as possible. So some projects we've had the pavement layer on within days.
Oh no, but how thick?
Oh, how thick? Oh, so these roads would be a 4-inch thick asphalt with 2 layers, making that 4 inches.
All the work's in the right of way, correct?
All of it's in the right of way.
So it ends up being exempt due to that being all the work in the previously disturbed area?
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Exact number, but I'll have it in the decision.
Anyone have any questions about the project? Typical erosion controls and,
Yeah, nothing really special. Just working near resource areas. So obviously we're going to put up the erosion controls where they're needed.
close are you to a resource area?
Groton Shirley is just within the 100-foot buffer. Not the whole length, but just a segment of it. And I think there's an intermittent stream that cuts through in one part as well. Blythe Street's very close. Blythe Street's actually in the 100-year floodplain, so.
The wetlands are right there.
That's right up where you just put the culverts in, right?
Exactly.
Yes. No, we just did the culverts on Blythe Street this spring. And now we're paving it.
And hopefully not touching the street again for a long time.
On Shirley Road, it's not pleasant.
Questions, John? Jess?
Nope.
Mark? George? I think I've got one. Anyone think it's necessary to do a site walk? Okay. Any other discussion before we vote on this? Nope. Motion to issue a negative determination for the work at Groton Shirley Road and Blythe Street, the road work reclamation.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Passes unanimously.
Thank you.
That was easy. Thank you, Matt.
Thank you.
Yes, not till later though.
I got it.
Large scale, because we prefer those, but here's some reduced size for the next one.
Oh, awesome.
Okay.
Yep. Terrific. Yeah, thank you, Heather. Do you want to look at one of these? Jess, you want to look at one of these, or no? Mark? You want?
Sure.
Area residents that wouldn't mind seeing them too, and I have first.
Working?
Good.
All right.
Awesome. Yes, I'm saying it's not. Oh, yeah. Huh.
Yeah, you can.
You can go ahead. We'll,
You're going to try?
yeah, we'll try, but
All righty.
we got,
Yep, our next item this evening is the public hearing notice of intent, DEP file number to be determined. All righty, Creative Materials, 12 Willow Road, construction of a 115 by 170-foot warehouse addition to an existing building with associated paving and stormwater management system within the 100-foot buffer zone to a bordering vegetative wetland, 200 feet of a riverfront area. Good evening, gentlemen. If you
Good
could
evening.
tell us your names for the record, please.
For the record, Jim Basile, Goldsmith Press and Ringwall.
What was
Did you get that?
Jim?
Basile,
Can you spell that?
Basile.
Got it. And you're from GPR?
Goldsmith Press and
You're
Ringwall. Yep,
GPR
GPR.
too. Okay.
Limbotiv, also from GPR.
Uh,
TIV.
Also present tonight is the applicant, Joe Morano from Creative Materials. If it's all right with the Conservation Commission, I'll just give a I'll try to give a brief summary of the project and then turn it back over to all of you for questions and comments. Uh, yes. On behalf of the applicant Creative Materials, we've prepared a notice of intent for the property at Old Willow Road for the expansion of the existing development. This is for work within the buffer zone of the bordering vegetated wetlands and riverfront area of the perennial stream along the northern portion of the property. The site is located within the industrial zone. It's a partially developed lot. It's a mix of wooded areas, grass areas, and impervious surfaces. The site was developed prior to the implementation of the Massachusetts Rivers Protection Act in August of 1996, and I'll get into that a little bit further later on. But I just wanted to point out that essentially, because it was done prior to the act, a large amount of the existing development is located within the riverfront area of the perennial stream. And so as such, this is a redevelopment project. And the proposed work is limited to the total amount of existing disturbed, degraded riverfront area. So that is the area that we have to stay within. The existing development consists of a access drive off of Willow Road. The lot contains a 2,400 square foot building, which contains office, lab, and warehouse space. There's associated parking around the north and westerly portion of the building. At the rear of the building, there are two truck loading bays for regular truck deliveries. And there's also a paved area in the back for delivery trucks to come in and do their turning maneuvers. There is a existing stormwater system containing catch basin network, which discharges to a infiltration basin in the easterly portion of the property. On the plan, there are several nearby resource areas. There is a, if you have a color plan, there is a FEMA flood zone A to the north of the property in blue. This feeds into and is hydraulically connected to a unnamed perennial stream that runs west to east across the north of the property. And since this perennial stream falls under the Riverfront Protection Act, it projects a 100-foot and a 200-foot riverfront area onto the property. In the north of the property, there's also a large bordering vegetated wetland, which is fed into by both the perennial stream to the north and also a smaller bordering vegetated wetland in the westerly portion of the property. And these bordering vegetated wetlands project a 50-foot and 100-foot buffer zone onto the developed portion of the property. And as you can see, there's a lot of resource areas and buffer zones that kind of cover the majority of the property. Creative Materials has been at the property since they acquired it in 2011. They've run a very successful business there over the last 14 years. They've employed over 30 employees, and they're looking to expand that number. And as their business has grown, they're looking towards the future and that they are going to need some more space. So that's why we're here today to discuss the proposed expansion. And so at the rear of the building, we're proposing a 115-foot by 170-foot warehouse addition. This will maintain the two loading bays, which are located to the in the northeast corner of the existing building. But this addition will be squarely in the area that of existing pavement where trucks currently do their turning maneuvers. And so the existing pavement needs to be expanded to the east in order to allow delivery trucks to still come onto the site and do their turning and then exit the site. We're also proposing several stormwater improvements, such as proprietary structures to effectively remove pollutants from the existing and the proposed site. And we are proposing a infiltration chamber system to handle the additional impervious area from the pavement area and the new building footprint. There's also some renovations to the existing facade to kind of update it from its last update. prior to our submission, we went through a number of conceptual layouts to try to, one, find a building footprint and pavement that met the business's needs, but also that worked with the with care towards the resource areas and the vegetation around. So this design kind of is our effort to appease everyone. The riverfront area, the total disturbance on the site, there's approximately 3,700 square feet of disturbance that we would require for grading within the riverfront area. Because of that, there's also a existing degraded area of the riverfront area that we can point it out during the site walk, but it kind of it's very obvious when we're out there that it from the existing development when it was constructed, it's just the strip materials that was just dumped in a corner of the property, and it's got weeds, invasive species, junk. Just it's an area that is larger than the area that we would be disturbing, and we would like to restore this area as a form of compensatory replacement in the riverfront area. So overall, it would be a 450 square foot net decrease of degraded riverfront area.
450 decrease?
450 square foot net decrease, because we're proposing a new disturbance of 3,700 square feet within the riverfront area, but there's a closer portion, the degraded area, that accounts for about 4,150 square feet. So by cleaning up that area, planting grass and new plants, we'd be effectively a net decrease of the degraded area. And also that area is closer to the resource area itself, and this new disturbance would be further away from the resource area. So it is in line with what is the intent of the redevelopment of work within the riverfront area. The proposed stormwater systems, we're proposing the stormwater system to capture the stormwater from the new building and pavement area, but also the existing pavement in the back that coincidentally we're also capturing. So that will treat and hold and then discharge. But we're also providing a proprietary structure in the existing stormwater system so that it will effectively remove pollutants prior to discharge to that existing infiltration basin. So we're trying to improve the overall site stormwater management.
I saw online when I was looking earlier today, these big massive tanks. Is that what you're talking about? Is that
Yeah,
what
they're MC. They are storm chamber systems embedded in stone. They'll be below the pavement area.
And is that the extent of the stormwater system?
So it comprises of 2 new catch basins, which will feed into the proprietary structure. It's a CDS unit that will effectively remove the pollutants, and then it will discharge into a manhole, and from there it will go into the infiltration chamber system, which is sized to treat 1 inch of the runoff prior to discharging. Lastly, this project will also establish a curb along the limit of the pavement. Right now, only a portion of the pavement is curbed, and there's areas of the compacted gravel in the back and debris that tend to sheet flow. So this will be an improvement to kind of have a permanent limit of the developed area and then the grass vegetated area on the other side. But as you guys had noted, we haven't received a DEP file number yet, no comments yet. We are planning to meet with the planning board on September 9th. So we would like to try to schedule a site walk with them, and if we can schedule a site walk with all of you prior to the next meeting, if we can line that up, that would be good. So any availability that you guys have, we'll try to make that work. But I will turn it over to all of you. Sorry.
Just one very small thing I'd like to add.
Yep.
Heather did bring up when we did make the filing that we are supposed to locate trees within 25 feet of disturbance. So we do have a survey crew scheduled to be out on site to locate those trees. Obviously, if you're looking at the proposed grading on the plan, we are clearing quite a bit of trees on that hillside to try to fit the building in. So obviously that whole hillside will get located for the trees, and obviously we provide shrub or tree planting in accordance to the number of trees that we're taking out. That's all.
Okay. So as far as a site walk, you don't need us to meet with the planning board at the same site walk, do you?
No, I don't think you need to meet, if we can time it up, right, one sidewalk, but if not, if it doesn't line up, that's fine. We're
It
happy
is
to.
first come, first served, so if we schedule for this board first, and they can join us, they will. If not, we can schedule another day. It's not a big deal.
Okay. Before we do that, questions? Jess? George? Mark?
Nothing at this point.
I'm sorry?
Nothing at this point.
As far as a site walk goes. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah. No, Heather, we don't.
I just have a couple to be ready at the moment. The first one is, that I think I missed to get point out, they do have, work within the 50-foot do not disturb zone.
Oh.
There's a waiver request within the packet. So, and it is for the grading. I do think that needs to be looked at, because I'm not sure that the request meets the intent of our regulations as far as showing there's no feasible alternative. Because I just didn't know there was a question of a way to, and what the cost difference would be, instead of grading that hole out, is just putting in a retaining wall, and then that way that would get rid of any work within that 50-foot area.
No, they could put in a retaining wall, you think?
I don't know.
That
I'm not
the
an
issue-
engineer, so.
Yeah. So I read the issue was turning radiuses.
So the turning
Okay.
radius, so if the grading is due to the slope on there, it was just a question. So we do need to make sure we're looking at that waiver request for that 50-foot do not disturb area when we go out on the site, just to make sure that what they're requesting is meeting that, because we have that waiver request in there for the 50-foot do not disturb. The other two comments I have, and I'm waiting to hear back from DEP on that, is in regards to the riverfront area disturbance, because I'm trying to figure out how it is redevelopment when you're actually doing new development, because new redevelopment's only impervious areas, and the new areas are not impervious currently, so you're degrading that. So I'm waiting to see what DEP's comments are on that, and also in regards to that section of the act. I'm confused on it, so I'm just hoping to see if their comments come back with the same questions that I have, stating that it is actually redevelopment or not. Because to me, there is a significant adverse impact, which it doesn't seem to be if we're only doing 3,700 square feet of disturbance, because the requirement has to be 10% or 5,000 square feet. So we're under the 5,000, so I think we're fine on that. But it's just the other question of the redevelopment on that.
Okay, and we'll just have to wait.
I'm waiting to see what DEP says, because in my opinion, it's not, but I want to see if they have the same comment. Because no redevelopment is current impervious area, which it's not, the whole site is not.
Okay.
It's on my notes.
Anything else? Yeah. Yes, I guess if there's nothing else from the commission, we could let the people in the gallery pose some questions. So,
State names.
yep, if you could please, in the back, if you could please come up and join us and state your name and your address for the record, please. You can sit right there. Yeah,
One question.
sure.
Hi. I'm Alexia Iowanu. That's going to be really fun for you to spell.
Spell that.
IOANNOU. And I'm at 16C Longview Circle.
16
C Longview. So we're in the Willows development behind. But my
What's
question,
your last name?
Ioanu, yes, sorry, Alexia is my first name, Alexia.
Okay.
A lot of vowels. My question was regarding, I understand that the building was built before the 1996 River Protections Act. And I guess my question is, how does the new build and all of the expansion get grandfathered in?
Well, I was just gonna point out that, so the limit of the 200-foot riverfront area is along here, so the majority of the building is outside of it, and then the extent of the existing pavement is over here. So effectively, we're talking about this area being within the riverfront area, but, which is why we're proposing to mitigate it by providing some compensatory cleaned up area that would be new grass planting and other plantings installed in this area.
And how,
To clarify a little bit, for any new project that's doing work within the riverfront area, you're allotted to, I believe, 5% or 5,000 square feet.
5,000 square feet or 10%, whatever is greater.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's
Of
sections
new-
I've been reading.
Of new disturbance within the riverfront area.
okay,
Because this is an existing site, obviously we have a lot of riverfront area, or a lot of impervious area that's sitting within riverfront. Therefore, per the Wetland Protection Act, you're allotted to the existing amount of impervious areas and disturbance you're kind of allotted to that, to work within that limit. You cannot go over additional disturbance, and which is, what we're proposing to do, which is addressing an existing disturbed area that is closer to the riverfront and placing new impervious area further away. So kind of offsetting our allotted area.
so only this section is what is in that riverfront?
That's correct.
So effectively, so on the property, there's a total of 42,961 square feet of degraded riverfront area since it was on, prior to the act. With what we're proposing for mitigation, the new degraded area, or the total degraded area post-development, would be 42,511 square feet, so a 450 square foot decrease.
Does that answer your question?
It answers my question.
We also just need to make sure, in following that section, that we do have 100 feet of, a minimum of 100-foot wide undisturbed vegetated area provided.
Say that again.
You have to have at a minimum 100-foot wide vegetated undisturbed section in order to qualify for that 10% or 5,000 square feet.
And do they have that?
We'd have to verify that with the plans and on site. Because I had to look at the lines to be 100% sure. Because
We can look at that on our end as well.
yeah.
All right, thank you. Anyone else? Please join us.
Hi there.
Hi, can you state your name, please, and address?
I'm Shannon Alexander. I live at 16A. Mostly it's all my neighbors are here. Longview Circle.
Yes.
Shannon Alexander?
Alexander, yeah, you got it. Yep, I'm sorry. I feel like I'm like on TV or something.
Big lights.
Big lights. First of all, I wanted to clarify that thing about the turnaround, because there was a misunderstanding there.
Okay.
The gradation they were talking about is not in the pavement. The gradation is the area beyond the pavement, which is taking way more trees out. Hi guys, by the way. Than I think is necessary. So like the gradation she was talking, I looked at these plans extensively for the last 2 days, so you might want to ask me. So just so you know, that gradation they were talking about is not on the pavement. That's further. So, like, people are concerned for a number of reasons. First of all, like, a lot of this land is in the wetlands. Like, it is not questionable. Like, it's in the wetlands. I understand. I had a great conversation with Heather today that, there's rules. You got to go by the rules. You guys are going by the rules. I get that. I respect that. But we got to do both. You know what I mean? You have to expand business, but also try to save as much wetlands as possible. I don't think they are doing that yet. I think that there's probably a compromise where you could maybe take a little less trees, because we're talking about drainage, we're talking about the root systems of these huge trees. These are huge old growth trees that they're gonna cut. I mean, that's part of the water system. The roots go down, like, they don't, I mean, this is unknown. But like, if you cannot cut down old growth, you shouldn't. Like, you shouldn't do that. You know what I mean? So maybe there's some way that you guys can have what you need and we can protect as much as we can. I don't know that we're there yet. Like, and I don't know that my opinion matters, but like, also, that's not an unnamed brook. It's Bennett's Brook. It's a major piece of a waterway that connects to our,
Is it Bennett's?
yes, it is. He said it's an unnamed brook. It's
Yeah.
Bennett's Brook,
I
which is
was
a
wondering
major connection between, like,
No,
Neshoba
it's not.
River.
No, Bennett's Brook's on the other side.
No, Bennett's Brook goes all the way around Longview. Goes all the way around and comes out. That is the, it's Bennett's Brook. That is what creates, that's what creates. Yeah, but I mean, we should be talking about the actual brook, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, I think you guys are doing a good job, but like, we're a little terrified because, like, this is the woods behind our house. You know what I mean? And there's a lot of destruction, and this is a major animal thoroughfare. And this is it's a concern. I mean, we obviously want to support our business, but this is deeply disturbing. And also, the secondary, outside of the nature, which is my first concern, is our homes, our sanctity of our homes. You know, I want to make sure that there are trees blocking this, because, like, do you want to look out on your deck, you know, and see, I mean, and that's secondary. My concern really is the trees and the water first, and then obviously the sanctities of our home. Like it's important. Business is also important, you know, so that's the concerns we're having. Also noise, light, you know, trucks coming in and out. I mean, this is really close to our homes, and I'm wondering, can we go on the sidewalk? Can we, as resident, or at least one of us, see what is being planned so we can at least be prepared?
Actually, I don't know about that. Can we do that?
The liability for the
It's up to the property owner?
For who?
property owner.
Well, can someone take me on a sidewalk after?
Again, it's private property. That's the concern.
Well,
So we'd
would
have
you
to-
guys show me?
It doesn't change the fact that it's private property.
Well, no, but I mean, like,
It is up to the discretionary of the landowner. I'll leave it at that.
well, isn't that you?
I'm not. I'm the engineer.
Could I call him? Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah.
No problem.
Yeah. I mean, or could they at least, down the road. That's really all.
Well, I understand all your concerns, and that's why we're all here, because that is our concern as well. And when we go out there and put our eyes on it, that'll help us greatly.
I appreciate all you guys do. This is a very difficult, I was on a condo board once, and it is so difficult, so we appreciate you and what you're doing. And we're not against you guys either, you know, we're really not, but like, I think you gotta hear all of it, that's all.
We appreciate your comment.
Yeah, no, it's a balance, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
I do want to make one thing very clear, because you mentioned this very early on, is that we're not doing any sort of disturbance to the actual wetland area. We're working within the buffer limit. You can say that.
It's a gray area. There is some, I looked at it.
It's considered part of resource area.
It's 50, the 50-foot line is being, you are cutting in the wetland, period.
But we're
like-
not touching the actual bordering vegetative wetland. So I just want to make that clear.
No, I understand. I get that. And I understand, and Heather was great. She explained a lot to me. I appreciate that, so.
No, I just want to get it on camera, that's all.
Oh, on the camera? Right. We're actually televised right now.
We are.
I'm becoming the villain. No, I'm kidding.
No, you're not.
What was that?
I said far from it.
Well, thank you for listening, and I'm sure I'll probably see you guys again.
Okay, good. We appreciate you coming up. We really do. Thank you. Is there anyone else who would, yes? Oops. Okay, no, go ahead.
Mine's very quick. I just wanted to point out the brook. On the on the Ayer Mass webpage, Conservation Commission, Shaker Mill Pond, there's an article, a nice story there. If you scroll down, it describes Bennett's Brook as it connects to Spectacle Pond and all our ponds that are part of our water resource. So I just want to point out that that is there, and I was just worrying about the water. Okay, but that is Bennett's Brook. It's not unnamed.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, Anthony
Anthony?
LaRusso, LORUSSO.
Okay.
But if a
Thank
brook
you,
is
appreciate
named or unnamed, it doesn't make a difference to us.
No, I know.
Yeah.
I just wanted to point it out, that's all.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, appreciate it.
Yes. Good evening.
Good evening. I love your shirts. They're very nice.
You didn't get the memo, did you?
I guess I got the anti-memo, but anywho. Rachel Kozera, 30 Groton Harvard Road. I apologize, and just to let you guys know, to speak into the microphones just for the recording. But I didn't hear, I apologize, sir. I didn't hear what you said, your whole entire part with regard to the presentation that you gave to the Conservation Commission regarding just, I don't know, the portion that you shared. So could you just repeat what you said?
You're gonna have to be more specific on which part.
Well, pardon me?
What we just went through?
Well, this gentleman I could hear, but I couldn't hear this
I
gentleman.
think it was the part about planting the trees at the end. It was. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Removing and planting.
Okay, no problem. At the time of filing, Heather pointed out that we needed to provide location of the existing trees that we're planning to take out. So
And
we do
could
have,
you specify trees of a certain caliber, right?
It's in our regulations
know.
where we do the yeah, I think it was it a certain caliper in the trees that we
Yeah.
Is it 12-inch diameter? Is that the rule?
yeah.
Yeah, just because it's not, it's just to make clear, it's not.
Yeah, it's not every single one. It is a specific diameter. Sorry, was it mostly pine in that area? Oh, yeah, it's 6-inch caliper at breast height, which is 5 feet above the ground.
Thank you.
Yeah.
so we do plan on having a survey crew out there to locate all those trees that we're removing along the hillside. We're doing a little bit of grading, just trying to get the water away from the building. So obviously it requires cutting down those trees. So they'll be located as well as replaced with either shrubs or trees in accordance with the air tree replacement guideline.
That's a couple to one.
It's 2 to 1, 1 to 1,
This is 1 to 1.
1 to 1, and now it's 3 to 1 for shrubs.
And so I heard someone, how do I phrase it? I heard a previous individual talk about that there's old growth trees there. Will those be excluded from this area that you're taking the trees down? Or are you looking for a waiver to cut down all of those as well?
So if we need to remove a tree, we are replacing it. At this moment, I can't tell you because we haven't located those trees yet. I think once we get a survey crew out there, we're actually able to look at it a lot better. If there are trees that we can save, obviously we'll try to save them because it's just extra money to take them out, unnecessarily. Unfortunately, I don't have an answer until we get the location figured out.
And with regard to, do I need to direct my questions to you when I'm asking them, or do I?
Technically through the chair to.
Okay, I just don't know where to look. And so with regard to the tree replacement, will the root structure and ecological benefit be considered, just because it is a sensitive area and it seems like there's a lot of wildlife there? Is that going to be taken into consideration or into the eventual plan?
I think this is more of a question for the board than us.
For who?
For us.
Oh.
So, trees are replaced 1 to 1. They're not going to be replacing the old growth root system. If you replace a tree 1 to 1, it's new root ball. It's what it is. So, technically, no.
Okay, I'm sorry, I don't think I phrased my question correctly, but I just know in certain circumstances, landscaping developers, I'm not sure if that's what they're called, they'll put in maybe native trees, but they won't mimic the root systems that were there prior. So, for instance, if there's a pine tree there, maybe they could put a maple tree there by accident. I don't know if that
I don't
actually
know, do
happened.
the regulations
Do you-
stipulate
The
that,
the
that it's
regulations don't stipulate that, and I think that question, as far as from the commission answering that, they can't answer that until they've gone out on site and actually seen what's out there, because right now they don't know what is out there for trees. So to make any recommendation on what to go back and replant with, I think we'd have to see, because when you're talking about, replanting with species to species, if they're taking out a Norway maple. I don't want another Norway maple out there, obviously. We'd want something that's more native. So I think we'd have to go out, physically see what's out there, get an idea of what's coming out before we can make any sort of recommendation on what might need to be replanted there. I mean, obviously, we're looking at pines, you have a higher, shallower root system, so actually if you'd have a deeper root system, that would keep the soil more steady than a pine would, which I know the majority of that site, there is quite a few large pines out there. But then when you're looking at pines, you have more evergreen for the neighbors than you would have deciduous trees. So there's lots of things that go into play on that. And the commission, I don't think, can make any sort of recommendation or comment on that until they've gone out and seen the site.
But at the same time, it's fair to say that you're not gonna plant a tree that's not supposed to be in a wetland back in a wetland.
Correct. You had to figure out what the
It's
soils,
definitely gonna be the same type of-
soils are, yeah,
Right.
and same, calculated on, yeah, that whole wetland tree or non-wetland tree, upland tree, yeah.
But it's, you can correct me if I'm wrong, you're taking these trees out because you don't want them there. You're not gonna put another tree there because it's gonna be in the way. Is that
That's correct.
correct? Yeah, so it doesn't, you're not gonna just, that root system is gone at that particular site. And they'll be adding trees to a different system. Is that correct?
That's correct.
That is correct.
Okay.
We'll wait I'm gonna wait until Rachel's done.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you. Would you like to join us again?
I just wanted to clarify on the trees. It looks like on the plan that the trees they're gonna plant on the edge won't actually affect the wetlands at all. Like, they're kind of, like, just a border. It's a border of trees. It doesn't replace a 200-foot pine tree, like a border tree.
Is that 200-foot pine tree in the wetlands?
They are. Yeah, they're in the wetlands.
Are they in wetlands or buffer zone?
Everything's in the buffer zone. We don't have the trees shown on the plans that are being taken out. That's one they have to provide. The planting plan that I believe that is shown on the plans is actually for the facade, the front side of the property. I don't think we have a planting plan for the side, or do we have a small one? Okay, I apologize, I just haven't looked through that part. So in regards to commenting on in that and the species on there, I think we'd have to go out, review that, and see what's out on the site first.
Right here.
To verify, yeah, no,
That's the one
yep,
you're talking
yep.
about. Yeah.
So we'll look at that when we go out and see what's out there. And obviously when we get the tree plan that we requested too.
And I'll just say, just looking at the planting plan that we're showing right now, I mean, I'm counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, about 10 trees. Obviously, with the degraded area removed, once that mound comes down, you obviously have a lot more room to plant shrubs or more trees if you want to, in an area that is closer to the riverfront. And that's really the goal, trying to restore the area that's been degraded for a long time, to the condition.
Should we clarify that our local bylaw specifies resource areas, including buffer zone, are now considered resource areas? But buffer zone is not necessarily, it's not wetland.
It's not wetland, correct, yep.
Yeah, it's a resource area in our view now, but not wetlands directly, they're buffers.
Yeah, we have the 50-foot do not disturb, so anything within 50 feet of the wetland, which, like I said, there is that waiver request, but I still think I think it's a small portion of the grading that's in that 50-foot, but they are at least, 50 feet. Majority of the work is outside the 50-foot.
Right.
And then the warehouse is only a small portion of that is within the 200-foot riverfront.
You had your hand up?
Would the gentleman just mind speaking up? I just cannot hear, what he's saying.
Maybe, can you just come closer?
No, all of us.
Yeah.
Nobody can hear.
Everyone's straining to hear, so if the gentleman
You gotta speak up a little more.
I'll try, I'm sorry.
Yeah, this is like a dead room.
Yell at
It's,
us, go ahead.
Anyone else have some questions?
Hi.
State your name, please.
Deb Selwood,
Spell your last name?
Selwood.
O-O-D?
Yeah, I'm at 8 Longview Circle, which is directly behind the business. And I would be directly behind where the new warehouse extension is. So I mainly wanted to comment on the lighting, that I don't know if there's a way in the back of the warehouse to not have 24/7 lights, because those shine right into all our units in the back. So that was
I'm
my,
not sure that's under
I don't know if it
fiction,
was,
but it's planning board, yeah.
so just, I don't know if there's a motion sensor light versus a 24.
I'll,
It-
I'll make a comment, even though it's
Please.
not under the purview of this board. Most of the lights that we put in has to be dark sky compliant. Any commercial lights that we're putting in has to be dark sky compliant per the zoning requirement.
Yep.
A lot of times we call out light fixtures that has automatic shut off as well. You know, and looking at where the building is situated back there, a lot of the grading is going right up to the building. So it sits relatively higher than the rest on the front side. So I can't imagine there's gonna be that many light fixtures back there, because it's just dirt right up against the wall. So the goal is obviously, you know, not shining light onto your property, and making sure that they're all dark sky compliant and with the automatic shut-off function.
Okay.
And when is the planning board meeting again?
September 9th.
September 9th, so that's the one you'd want to raise that issue at.
Thank you. Anyone else? Yes, please. Good evening.
My name is Michelle Koziak,
Could you spell that last name?
K-O-S-C-I-A-K. And I have
Michelle.
Michelle with one L.
Okay.
I haven't had a chance to look at any of the drawings or anything because I just came to the party a little late. But I'm in, you know, I'm above your parking lot. If you stand in the parking lot and look, I'm the one with all the flowers on the deck because I spend a lot of time outside on my deck. Cold weather, all of it, I'm out there. A lot of people don't go outside, but I'm out there all the time. And I bought that condo 17 years ago. So I've been there, Stacy and I are OGs, we go all the way back. And I say this because I realized that I was buying property that abutted a industrial area. And I understood that, but I had this nice crop of trees and forest that, you know, you got the train, you can deal with that. But it was nice that I had some privacy and I had some peace and quiet. And there's quite a bit of wildlife out there. I saw a little blue heron not long ago. Not a great blue heron, but a little blue heron down there on that little Bennett Brook. And it's a lovely little place. So my concern is, you know, as my neighbor just said, is lighting. I'm very concerned about the lighting. Are we going to be operating just during business hours or nights and weekends, or?
I believe their regular schedule is 8:30 to 5, Monday through Friday.
I do want to make, I guess, another comment regarding the lighting, just because I saw it as soon as I make a mention of it. If you look under the landscaping plan, you can see we have wall light shown on the
Excuse
side
me,
of the building.
This is new construction here?
Yep. So you can see that there's a wall light at, on the side here and two at the very front. There is none being proposed back here facing your property.
And are trees proposed to come down between your property and?
Will there be screening left?
So currently the existing building sits approximately 55 some odd feet away from the property line. Per Town of Ayer zoning, we're required to provide a 50-foot strip of landscaping that we're maintaining between the proposed development and the property line. So we are taking down some trees, yes, but we're maintaining that strip of 50-foot, you know, grass/tree areas. In addition, I did take a look at the GIS map a little bit. So kind of based on the amount of grading as well as tree removal that we're doing, it appears that even with the removal of the trees that we have on site, there is approximately 50 foot of trees remaining between where we're proposing to cut down to the tree line of the abutting property. So you still have, you know,
50 feet plus 50 feet?
they overlap. So I was talking more about per the zoning, you have a 50-foot area that doesn't have anything in it except for grass and trees between the proposed building to our property line. But with the clearing being done in that small section that we need to do for grading, you still have a 50-foot area of mature evergreen trees between, you know, the two properties.
You mean along the back?
Along the back, yes.
Like the whole way?
Mm-hmm.
It'll
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
And I'm sorry, and I'll try to find these drawings someplace, but how far is it from the existing building to the edge of the property? What's that?
The edge
Is it the property?
I mean, best guess was 150 feet, 200 feet?
Sorry, asking to the edge of the development or the edge of the property?
No,
Building
what's going to
expansion?
be impacted?
So this 170 more paper. And then, unfortunately, this isn't scalable.
Thank you.
So I want to say that altogether, the total length is probably about 250 feet, approximately.
Between the building and the property line?
No, between the building and the width of the pavement. Just from the building to the end of that dumpster pad.
Okay.
So traffic will come up here and back in here or drive in here, the trucks will come in here? Is that the loading docks there?
There are two existing loading bays over here. We're maintaining those two spaces. So the trucks will come in, they'll pull up here, and they're able to back into that space. Which is why, you know, we pushed out to that area, is mainly for the turnaround.
And my other point is, years ago, I used to do business with the previous occupants of that building, Hybricon Corporation. And it was a family-owned business. And I remember doing business with them, and they said how, you know, they wanted to expand, but they couldn't because it was all wetlands. So they ended up selling the business and dissolving they sold the business, and somebody bought the company, and they sold the building. But Hybricon, so another reason when I bought my property, because I knew they couldn't build back there.
Well, you thought they couldn't.
Well, at the time, they couldn't build back there for whatever reason. But when somebody tells me that, you know, it's a wetland, you can't build, what am I supposed to do? Ask for
Proof?
Maybe.
I'm just saying, as a neighbor who wants to be a good neighbor, you know, they were a nice company to do business with. You guys are doing great. Glad to hear you're growing. I'm just saying that I just want to make sure that I don't have to sit out on my deck and be concerned about that.
I'm sorry, what was your address for your property?
14B.
14B.
This is the one you need.
It has the pretty flowers on
This
the
is
deck.
the one that has the property on it. These are our homes right here.
Yeah.
That's your property line. We're
Mhm.
trying to figure out what's being cut down and how
Right.
much of a barrier is there gonna be between our homes and looking at this.
Yeah.
That's and none of the maps actually showed that. Like I looked at this stuff for 2 days, as I
Yeah,
mentioned.
I've never seen
But
that.
there's nothing that actually addresses where this map fits on this. And I actually asked for that, and they said they probably couldn't do it today, but like, that's what we need to see. Like, and I like blew this up to the point where I could lay it over to try to see where it is, but nobody said that, you know, like that's what we wanna know. Like, where is it actually? Are these trees gonna be here? Where is it gonna come out to? Like, what do we need to prepare for? You know what I mean? Like, tell people what's going on. That's the one.
Yeah.
It's going to be determined a little bit by going out and on a sidewalk and seeing.
Could they,
Right.
Here we can't go on a sidewalk.
but Heather, could we ask them to mark just in that general area,
Yeah,
the
when
property
we
line and
discuss,
that-
when we discuss the sidewalk, we'll discuss what we wanna see out on the property when we go out. Haven't gotten to that part yet.
We can't say yes to you coming on a sidewalk because it's not our property.
Never walked on that property before.
You never have.
In 17 years, never set foot on it. Thank you for this. All right, thank you.
Anyone else? Please.
Oh, again. I just had a quick question. With regard to the DEP file number, I just didn't know, is it typical that when you do notices, like, goodness, I'm so sorry, I'm blanking, but you're notifying the abutters, but you don't have a file on DEP, so I just was wondering, is that procedurally correct? Just because they'll have to look up the file eventually, but it won't be on their notice that was sent to them, so it's not officially known to them.
We're at the hands of DEP for when they actually issue that number. It's not issued from us. It's issued from DEP. So they have a guideline that they have to do within 30 days or 21 days, something like that. They often go over. Unfortunately, in the state, the Department of Environmental Protection isn't overly heavily funded and is understaffed in the Wetlands Department. So we're at their discretion when they issue the number. We can't close our hearing until we have that number in the comments. So, but per the Wetlands Protection Act, once a filing is submitted, we have to hold our hearing within 21 days.
Okay, that makes sense.
So we have to open the hearing, but we can't close it until those comments and that DEP number is issued. And this is why we have theirs. If someone wanted to contact DEP and get a copy of it, I'm sure they could, because they do have it. They have to submit them at the same time, but yeah, we're at the discretion of DEP from when they actually review it and issue comments and issue the number.
That makes sense. I just, procedurally, I was just wondering how the abutters could be notified. And then, is there going to be a conservation study down the line for the land that they're disrupting and what's going on with regard to?
As far as the study, as far as what?
A conservation site? I don't know what you mean by that.
Study? Like a study of
Study.
the land? Did I say site? I'm so sorry.
Maybe I just misheard.
Oh, that's okay. I was just wondering if there's going to be monitoring of what is existing there, or just different procedural things that come forward to you guys with making decisions, just so you have more information.
I think one of the things in the application I noted was that this is not in an ACEC area of critical environmental concern, nor is there any outstanding water resource or rare species habitat. So this natural heritage doesn't get consulted, and that's, I think, usually if we're dealing with land that sensitive, that's when we would ask for something, but it doesn't appear to be the case here.
Oh, a previous individual that was up here mentioned that in years prior, and the reason why she purchased her home was that the land was considered environmentally protected, and so it couldn't be expanded upon. So I just think that, in the past, obviously, it was a resource, it was a home, or it is still a home for animals, so I just didn't know if it would be important just for the balance of the area.
Well, just because someone said that it was really doesn't make it so. They could have just spoken out of turn, or they didn't know, or...
Okay. I just wanted to, I just was looking at the documents online and I didn't see something to that degree.
And it's protected insofar as it's wetlands and buffer zone and riverfront. That doesn't necessarily, so it still has that protection. Whether there's natural heritage, endangered species issues, that's something different that adds on to the level of scrutiny. But it still has that basic level of protection, scrutiny, so.
Okay.
Oversight, yeah.
Okay, thank you very much.
Anyone else? I think a lot of your questions could be answered at the planning board more than here. So, kind of recommend you go there as well.
I believe those notices got sent out yesterday or the day before, so they'll be getting them soon.
Okay. Alrighty, site walk. I'm available this Saturday, next Saturday, the follow. Hmm? Not this coming, but the one after. You don't want to be at the Labor Day?
I have a concert tomorrow night. I'm not gonna get home until.
Ah, come on. So what would that date be? Anybody got a?
September 6th.
September 6th. Can people come on the 6th?
I am
You're
foregoing
not going to.
the replacement. I know, but I won't be here for the subsequent couple meetings necessarily. Also, it hurts. It hurts.
Can you make it on the 6th, Jen?
Yes, I can.
Heather?
Yes, I can do the 6th.
Mark? Reluctantly?
No, I just,
And,
I'm assuming yes,
Okay.
I'll make it work,
It's a
basically.
week, it's a week away, we don't know.
and you can start earlier without me.
Yeah, because we won't adjust, we could actually start at the normal.
Start at 9?
What time do you want to be there? Can you all join us then?
Someone will be available. I'm hoping it's not me, but if it has to be, it has to be.
So what time are you doing it at?
Well, how about, I was gonna say 8 o'clock, but.
Yeah, let's do 8 o'clock. For those of us that are coming in on our day off,
I could.
out of town, I appreciate it be 8 o'clock. But you live in town.
The other side.
The other side of town.
All right, so September 6th, 8 a.m., and we will meet you just on the site? Just.
Do you want to
got-
discuss what we'd like to see marked out on the site before we go?
Yeah.
Okay.
That would be
Um,
wonderful.
my question is if we could have, the limit of maybe the beginning of the grading and going down and where the possible, you discussed a, stormwater outfall, that location on site. And then I would assume the limit of clearing, obviously, and the limit of pavement. Is there any other?
The trees.
What?
Yeah, screening
Trees marked
trees.
by then?
Yeah, to say the limit of clearing, so we'd have the limit of clearing marked on the site.
So it'd be the limit of clearing, but the tree sizes, weren't, did we say we?
Yeah,
could do
we,
that?
so yeah, if we wanna mark the trees. Yep. Anything else? Anybody
Just
think of?
maybe the limit of clearing and then just get a quick eyeball of the back property line, just so you could see
Oh,
if
the property
screen-
line, yeah.
So limited clearing, limited pavement,
Yep.
outflow system, property line at the back.
Yeah, if we could get just an idea of the top of the
slope and
proposed
bottom
slope and the
slope.
bottom of the slope, yeah. And then just something that maybe shows the, obviously the 50, I don't know if you wanna have do you wanna have the buffer zones, the default marks, which all of them are?
Oh, would you want the 50-foot?
The 50-foot, yeah.
and if we can get some of the 200 foot, because it's a different contour.
Yeah. No, it's a lot.
Yeah,
But
quite a bit.
it's a lot on that plan, though. You got a lot of zones on there.
I have a feeling we might just confuse ourselves while we're on the site, so.
Yeah, if you just want to mark, I mean, I just prefer to have an idea of where the slope is. Just, I mean, it could be one stake, here's the top, here's the bottom, that's easy. And we know where the 50-foot is around, where that slope is, so I think having it marked just in that area would be good, so it might just be another stake there.
Okay.
And then maybe at the top of the parking area, whether it's just some spray paint on there where that 200-foot is, I think that would be helpful, because it is in the parking area.
Try to,
Yeah,
we might even just do this offline. I might just mark up a plan.
yeah, that's great. Yeah, if you want to figure it all out, we do it up there, because I just want to make sure we can see each phase, but I think having that slope in there is important with that, and with the residents' concern as far as the limit of clearing as well, which
Definitely.
you're going to have to do for the planning board anyway.
Did you have your hand up?
Oh, no, I just have to turn it
Oh, okay, sorry.
Okay, thank you.
Anything else? So, shall we, close this until,
Continue. Do you
Continue
want, so
until-
our next meeting is on September 11th. That's 2 days after the planning board has their first meeting.
yeah,
Given the fact that the stormwater system and everything is within the buffer, We obviously can't, I prefer not to close until the planning board has at least had one meeting, if not two. I don't know if you want to continue to the 11th meeting with the understanding we'll just go over what has transpired, what may have come out of the planning board meeting. It's, I mean, obviously the engineer, and then probably would be continuing a second time from there, but that I'll leave, I just wanted to drop that in your all ear.
So next meeting is probably not gonna work.
It depends on what you want to go over. If there's anything you want to go over from the site walk, or maybe what happened at the planning board meeting and hear from them on that, and then obviously we would go from there, what we'd be looking at for possible whatever.
Well, why don't we continue until our next meeting,
Yeah,
which is,
I mean, we'll have one anyway, so.
it's the 11th.
Continuing to the 11th, okay.
Can I make a recommendation? Since we have the sidewalk coming up, and I agree with Heather, obviously, we want to make sure that planning board get their say, and we can revise the plan accordingly. But I would just request that we continue to the next meeting, and then after the sidewalk, if we feel that, you know, we want to continue to the next one, we'll try to be proactive about that and reach out to Heather directly, before the the week of the meeting, you know. We'll keep it going until we can, figure things out.
You all agree with that?
Continue to the second one in September.
That would be the.
Continue to the 11th, and then if needed, we'll get a request to continue it, and we'll make that motion to continue.
And really, in doing that, is just, we're trying to make sure that any and all comments during the sidewalk, as well as any sort of update that we might want to provide for you guys, as well as, a member of the public, we can get that addressed and sorted out as we continue through the meetings.
And that way, if we need to, we can discuss that during a meeting, so so the public is aware of what's going on.
Actually, I do have one last question, don't you? Your storm drain, is there a single site drain off the back of the property here? Is that what I'm seeing, or are there multiple ones?
So there is one currently,
Okay.
and what we're proposing to do is actually replacing this
That's the
one
CS.
hole right there, and that is the CDS unit.
Okay.
They're very good in removing pollutant, but we are maintaining that one pipe that discharges out there, but creating a new outlet for the subsurface chambers separately, just so that we can kind of break things up a little bit, so that.
That's good.
I'm sorry?
You said there's a separate outlet. Where's that
It's over
going?
here.
It's just gonna go right here?
Yep.
Is this spot, is it visible? Like, have you seen it, or can we get to it, do you think, or?
I think they tried to locate it, but they couldn't find it, and, I'm sure at this time of year, it's probably overgrown by now. Just make sure to file an RDA before you go in.
Anything else? Motion to continue the notice of intent, DEP file number to be determined, 12 Road until our next meeting, September 11th.
Second?
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Passes unanimously. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you. Thank you very much for your time.
All right. Oops. Our next item this evening is a request for certificate of compliance, DEP file number 100-0220. How long ago was that?
Yeah, so these were quite a while ago. These are,
0197.
yeah, 1999.
What? What year?
Mountain
So
Laurel Road.
1999 and 2001.
Isn't that you're on Mountain Laurel.
Predates all of us.
I don't have the
Still
agenda,
high
so I don't
school,
know.
99.
He's going to get over it.
So what is it?
So what happened is, so the property at 26 Mountain Laurel Road is for sale and it has sold, and they have the closing next week. That property, yep, the property is not in the wetland, it's not in the buffer, it's completely on the other side of the street.
It is.
When I spoke to the seller's attorney, they were like, okay, sounds great. The buyer's attorney, when I talked to the seller, it was one way the other way. The other attorney did not agree and thinks it still needs to be released from the deed.
Here's the buyer, yeah.
So here we are with the request for, hopefully it worked out for them that they got me everything and we could maybe sign it tonight. So, site's stable, everything's built, again, outside the buffer, no wetlands on there, but, attorneys are requesting that we remove it. Again, this is one of the reasons why we do not just include an entire subdivision in RDA, in NOIs anymore, we just do roadways and then individual lots. Because we have this lovely stuff that still just pops up, and I'm sure I'm not getting a hold of CNF Builders Inc. to close these out anytime soon, so.
But the attorney's probably right, if it's somewhere in.
It's somewhere in that zone that it's just these two, 100-0197 and 100-0220 are just sitting there, open still, and we just, as houses sell, we issue our partials and move on.
Any
For whatever
discussion?
whatever attorney catches it, because it doesn't always happen.
Any discussion? Slam dunk, no?
Oh, slam dunk, yeah.
Motion
The
to,
motion.
motion to approve, a certificate of compliance, or is it a partial?
The partial
A
certificate of
partial
compliance,
certificate of compliance,
26 Mountain Laurel.
26 Mountain Laurel Road.
You have to vote on it per the two
You need to
different-
do two motions, because it's two different NOIs, two different noters.
Motion to issue a partial certificate of compliance, 26 Mountain Laurel Road, DEP file number 100-0220.
Second?
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Passes unanimously. Is there a motion to issue a partial certificate of compliance for 26 Mountain Laurel Road, DEP file number 100-0197?
Second?
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Passes unanimously.
Thank you. If your house? I don't know.
Can you check on mine too?
Just send me an email and I'll look them up. I mean, you can check the registry of deeds. Your certificate should show up.
And one more.
Oh, updates. I have my phone out. Where's my phone?
I was walking in Pine Meadow and just happened upon that bench. It was very nice.
Which one did you find?
The one at the far end of Pine Meadow Pond, the one by the nice site that's big boulder overlooking.
Yeah, the second one we put in.
Overlooking all the Phragmite.
Yeah. But I mean, when the winter time, when all the trees, you should be able to see the beaver lodge.
Yeah. Oh, it's a beautiful spot.
It's a beautiful spot. Yeah, they all three of them got put in nice places.
It's cool.
It was a nice activity on a Saturday.
Conservation Office updates.
Okay, so we have a couple things. First off, Miss Lori Nearing would like to do an owl prowl with about 12 of her friends on the 6th from 7 to 9 at Pine Meadow. And I didn't know if we needed to issue any sort of permission or permit or anything to do so. She asked, and I was like,
We're just going for a walk, right?
yeah. It's after dark, so that's the question.
Oh, because it's like closed.
Is it
It's closed. It's closed at dusk. So I'm like, oh, I don't know. I'll mention it to you guys when we have a meeting, and then I would just make the suggestion that I could email the police chief or whatever to let them know, so in case anyone calls for some reason. But I didn't know if you've ever had that question before. I haven't since being in this position that we've had to issue anything or make some sort of statement about it. No, they will not have flares. They probably have their little helmet lights.
When they're lost, you mean? It's not that big. They can find their way.
Are they all compass worthy?
And on the 6th, September 6th?
September 6th, yeah.
Well, we issued a permit for Jonathan Krantz, right, for his mushroom?
I think we just gave him a permission to do so. I don't think we gave him a permit.
Yeah, right, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
we just gave him permission.
Yeah. So I just wanted to make sure. I assumed we needed to do some sort of permission, but I just wanted to just verify, just so I know going forward if I get more of these that to bring it forth to you guys. If you're fine with me just saying, yeah, sounds good, and I'll mention it to you how you wanted to handle those.
I like the latter. You mentioned it to us, we're good.
Okay.
Everybody good?
Okay. Okay. For the next,
Go out there and hoot.
Who's going?
who's gonna go with the owl call on their phone? Yeah, do not be nice.
Good.
Our, for our next meeting, we will have the RDA for the West Main Street Bridge replacement, the temporary bridge across
Oh,
the brook that came in, on Monday. So because of the late, we had to push
Yeah.
it off until the next meeting, so that
wow.
finally came in. What that does to the construction schedule, I do not know, but, so that'll be there for that, for the next meeting. We also, mhm.
And I take back my idea about moving the material over to the other side. I totally forgot it's on the other side of the railroad bridge.
Mhm.
I was like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
I drove by there like a little while after we had the
Yeah.
discussion. I'm like, oh yeah,
Oh, yeah,
that's
yeah.
not a good
That's
spot.
not a good spot. No, it's just we were looking at you like, what are you talking about? Yeah, no, and, and on the positive side of that, if they were to put that in and start construction, say sometime, end of September, October, we're in a borderline drought right now, so that brook can't be very full, so that would be
Right.
beneficial.
Tells you how much I get on that side of town, right?
We had a brief discussion with Joe Cataldo and his son Michael in regards to them, the proposed project over on Orion Park. Remember, we had the resource area delineation a couple years ago when I first started. That
Sidewalk there.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, in the wintertime. That's what we decided we do not allow to do them in snow cover anymore. It was because of that site. They will be expanding on their existing operation, which is next door. And so we'll be proposing a new building or two over there. It's still in the works. We had a pre-construction meeting with them. Given the Permanent Extension Act that was passed in 2024, their delineation is still valid for another 2 years. It would have expired in January. It got an automatic 2-year extension. So just be on the look at that application in filing should be coming probably in the next I would say, couple months on that one. But that's a project that'll be coming before the commission at some point.
Did they buy that property?
They're in the
was that
purchase. They have a
already-
PNS on it now.
Oh, okay.
Not the whole property, just a section of it.
Okay.
Unfortunately, the CR isn't 100% over there yet, but that's one of those things that, I'm going to try to mention to them and see if it's something that we can, and it's also one of those ones we can hopefully get North County Land Trust to help us work on now that we have I know somebody who knows the people that own it, and we can hopefully get something going on on that side of things. I did get the draft baseline for Curly Circle. I have to review it to make sure it's okay. So once we have that, I will pass it off to all of you guys to review as well. And
Who prepared it?
That was Conservation Works. We had the contract
Oh,
with them
right.
to do that. I will probably send it over to North County Land Trust just to go through it as well and see if they have any comments on it. So we can have that signed off and complete and recorded, so then we can start the monitoring on that project, that CR next year, given the baseline was just done. So we would do the monitoring the following year. So that would be added if we keep with the North County Land Trust contract for next year. We would add that one into it too for the monitoring. So.
That's good.
Yeah. We did get confirmation for the Newton Street Festival, so we will have our table for that. Like I said, we'll be doing wildflower seeds, and I'm going to try to see if I can get some seed pods and dried flowers to show people how to harvest seeds themselves of those flowers that were within the seed mix, so they can, have a fun activity next spring.
Can you give us the date of that again?
Yeah, that is it's the first Saturday in October. I believe it's the 4th.
What?
I believe it's October 4th.
Maybe it's 4th.
Yep, October 4th. Yes, thank you, Barry.
Thank you,
Is it always closed at 3? I saw it was 10 to 3.
No, it used to go to 5. They shortened it this year, which is good because 5 was late.
That was late.
5 was late. So it's 10 to 3 this year. So we will have, like I said, I'll have candy. the wildflower seeds, and we'll have like almost like a demonstration on how like the partridge because I just threw them on, just so people who, if they want to, harvest their own seeds from the wildflowers that they've grown in their seed packets, along with a demonstration on how to do the milk jug thing. See if we can maybe do that as an activity too.
What's the milk jug thing?
So you make a greenhouse out of a milk jug. So those wildflower seeds, you can sow them in the milk jug over the winter, so then you can plant them in the spring. So you cut a milk jug, soil, seeds, sand, tape it back on, so it makes like a greenhouse effect. It's a fun winter activity. So we'll have that, and then the sustainability committee when we meet again on the 10th, busy week. That week, we will discuss what we will have there, which will most likely just be public outreach stuff, more or less, maybe a survey, a questionnaire, and or information on the transfer station that people might not know as far as recycling opportunities go.
Which plastics? Which plastic?
Just when we had our first sustainability committee meeting, one of the resident members who's newer to town didn't realize that there was composting there. So I think just giving an outreach to let people know what is available at the transfer station, or what would they like to see, or if they may comment, just so we get as far as on the sustainability committee, being a new committee, what people would like to see in town. I think it'd be so. Our table will be. I'll be splitting it in half from sustainability and conservation, but they go hand in hand anyway.
That will clarify which plastics are good recycles and which ones, like number 5 or something, is not a good.
Yeah, I have to verify that with Dan, and if they have any limits on that. If they have we can make a sheet for that. In regards to that, no plastic is good plastic. All plastic at some point cannot be recycled because it gets to a point where you can't recycle it anymore. Because the polymers break down and you can't recycle it, so you do metal. I'm trying to think if there's anything else.
Is there anybody that controls what they compost?
I don't know. Yeah, I think they're just out there. We'd have to do, again, as far as that goes, as far as maybe on a conservation standpoint, make sure we let people know that we should not be composting knotweed, because it does not die, it just regrows wherever you threw it.
Well, that's kind of what I'm assuming they're just taking stuff from the transfer station, right?
Yeah.
See what gets thrown.
Oh, trust me, the pocket forest, which only of us have spread the compost from there, you find some fun stuff.
Yeah.
You shouldn't include poison ivy, right?
Poison ivy, if you have the,
Compost it, will that still be toxic?
if it's buried out, yeah, if you don't want to, you gotta be careful, then it's gone to flower or berry already. If you're taking poison ivy and it's already gone to fruit and you throw it in there, it's just gonna replant it somewhere else.
Yeah. Anybody handling it would.
Anybody handling it before it's dried out. What did we find a lot? I found a couple of the composting doggy bags, like poop bags.
Yeah.
Because it's composting, they throw it in the compost bin. Well, if someone grabs those bags and leaves to spread them, they don't want to find that. So there's just a lot of information, I think, as far as just the transfer station goes, that I think could just be transport that would get a little bit of help on there. But we're going to discuss that at our next meeting.
Compostable bags you can't put in there? Because we always had like the compostable bag in our compost thing.
Yeah, well, that's different than, throwing your...
We have compostable poop bags too.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, those don't just...
So,
don't
worry,
I
I'm just
wouldn't
saying.
put them in there,
That's just trash.
But wouldn't
because it
they
takes a
have
while to break
compostable?
down.
Don't like
Yeah,
they.
but it's not so
Yeah.
much the bag, it's what's in the bag.
Yeah, it's the phosphorus, the phosphates that are in there.
That's
No,
why.
we didn't. I would just,
Yeah.
bag aspect is thrown.
Yeah, no, they do, those bags do
Box of
break
bags in
down.
there if you want.
But they don't break down. But don't they just break down into microplastics? They don't become.
Totally.
They don't become.
Magically organic. But they're made from like rice or sugar or something.
Some of those are, some of them are made from plant-based materials.
Like you should.
I would go that far.
Yeah, because I get like the plastic silverware that's made from plants.
Yeah. It's like all bending.
Mm-hmm. My niece always breaks it on the ice cream cake.
Anyway, sorry.
Anyway, so we have that. Trying to think what else. Pocket forests are going well. We've been watering those. We're drought monitor comes out today. I'm sure it's going to show that we're gone from, if not still dry conditions, to more severe than that. So just be mindful of
We're
that.
not green anymore. I'm really surprised, like, much of New Hampshire is also bad. It seems like all the time the rain's coming through, it's up there.
Yeah, well, most of Maine too is more severe drought than, well, not severe drought, but in moderate drought than we are in the Cape. Yeah, yeah, we're just considered dry, I think, right now. But
It's the delta from normal, right? So maybe they.
yeah,
It just seems like it's always.
yeah,
raining.
it seems like it's always. But again, if it's the flash rain, it isn't.
Yeah, that's true.
Because the pavement, the dirt, the ground gets so hard that it can absorb it. So keeping an eye on the drought monitor because we are moving into that stage.
We're still abnormally dry as of today.
Okay, so just I guess hope for a wet winter.
Hope for rain tomorrow.
Yeah.
We might get about a half inch, they said.
That would be better than nothing.
So that's about all I have right now. If anybody has anything else or any questions?
I did notice that they took down the knotweed on
Oh, good.
Central, but it's
Awesome.
3 feet high. I couldn't believe how quickly it came back.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So it's tenacious, huh?
Yeah.
Got anything?
We had a bobcat walk down our driveway.
Did you really?
Yeah, I have a really bad video of it because I was like watching it and trying to take the video. I can show you after the thing. It was pretty cool though. Like middle of the day. Yeah. Scared my crows away.
No fear.
How about you, Jess?
Somebody texted me the other day just to say that driving by American Superconductor, there's a big pile of pine logs in the buffer zone to Flanagan Pond.
That from superconductors, probably from the microburst.
It is.
That's where a majority of the trees came down.
Cleaning them up, though? I mean,
Well, considering that's from a natural, a natural come down, I mean, we can have them take them out. At this point now, they'd probably create more disturbance than anything else. So they're just allowed to be rotted down. They become habitat at this point.
all right.
When they come down from that, all the, because it ends up being an emergency, so whether they saw them down, we don't give permits for that because they came down and fallen on power lines, and then they are what they are. It's been about a month now, I think, to take them out. We'd be causing more issues than just leaving them.
You want to talk about that? Do you have anything, George?
Since we're talking about Pine Meadow, can we bring up the sheds?
Yes, we are working on that. We are working on the sheds. Danny and Dan and I are discussing how we're going to get those out. We need to do a site walk with that. Danny may or may not be out for the next 2 weeks, given if his wife had her baby yet. We're all waiting on word for that. So, but we are working on getting those sheds taken out and the best way to do that. So stay tuned. We are dead set to get those out before the end of the year.
And trail signs, do we have to talk about that?
Trail signs?
Pine Meadow.
The blazing of the trails or the sign postage?
Signs.
Yes, thank you. I had a Eagle Scout reach out to me for a project. I don't know if that's a project that they would be willing to do, whereas build a new signage and maybe create new information in there, if that would count as an Eagle Scout project. I'm gonna float that to them. If anybody else has any other thoughts, but I might float that out because I think that would actually be good because they could actually go out into Pine Meadow and gather some information and put that out. So it'd be a whole thing beyond just building the sign. Or one could just build it and one could do the information, and there's 2 Eagle Scout projects in one. I don't know what the parameters of the Eagle Scout project have to be. I know it has to be a community service project, but I can reach and float that question out to them because we do need to get those signs beefed up and pretty.
Deconstruct the sheds and build a whole bunch of benches.
That is one of my thoughts to have see if we can get Boy Scouts to take the smaller shed out, but we have to go out and see what the sheds look like first to see, and we figure how to access them. That's the other part of the equation.
The smaller one's just going to fall down on its own pretty soon. It's just got nothing holding it up. But the big one's built like, jeez, it is built.
Yeah, I tried going out to see if I could see them going in from Oak Ridge, and I didn't want to go trampsing through around to see if I could
Right.
find them in on somebody's backyard.
You know, you go in the trailhead there and you go up that steep hill.
Yeah.
And it turns.
It turns,
To the
it goes
left.
one way that way and then that way.
But then there's a side thing that goes.
Yeah, to
and
the
it
right.
It goes to the sheds.
Oh, okay. That's what I thought that was, but I'm like, I'm not sure, and so I'll if I can get out there, I'll go look for him. But
The one of them, it's got this massive steel girder, and like for taking out an engine out of a truck or something, it's just, good luck.
yeah, we're working on trying to figure out how to get it because obviously we can't for that bigger one. Going in from the trailhead would be difficult to take materials and everything out because it is so steep. So I think Dan, DPW was saying he knew someone who lived by there that maybe we could get access to their yard to help take them out. So we're working on it.
We walked in there just pre-COVID, I think.
Yeah.
A bunch of us walked in there, and that's been a while.
It had been finally cleaned out, right? Because I know there was still material in there. Is there
I haven't seen them, so I don't know.
It's all kind of painting supplies. Got anything, Mark? Oh, you got anything else? Sorry.
Are we gonna have anything at fall town meeting?
We will not have anything at fall town meeting. I am working on some stuff for spring town meeting, but as far as ours, changes to our we don't need to do any changes to our bylaw. Anything that would be changes to would be to our regulations, so those wouldn't have to go to town meeting. So unless you have any ideas of things you want to bring, you can let me know, but I don't think we have anything for fall. It's too late for fall at this point, but I am looking on something for spring as far as the DPW.
As far as what?
With the DPW.
So,
Mark?
just a question from 5 weeks ago? The oily.
Oh,
thing in
yes.
Grove Pond, like-
Yes, thank you for that. So last week I went out and searched it after we had heavy rain that came through to see what it looked like, and it was, oh, if anyone had saw it, they would have thought the world had broken open. So we actually got it water test. I called DEP. I was on the phone with them for a while. They got the fire department out there. Fire department swore it was organic. Kimberly from the water department took a water sample down. It was a dense deposit of iron bacteria. So just plant decay, essentially.
Dense?
Natural.
Yep.
Dense deposit of what?
Iron bacteria. So I can show you the pictures. It was not. It was brown. You would have thought I was crazy. No, you would have thought I was nuts if you had saw me because I was trying to figure out if it was oil because I met with Deputy Chief Janiskevich out there because Chief Johnston was at training and he didn't think it was oil based. I'm like, I'm gonna see if I can get closer to it, see if I can smell it. I'm walking through the woods. I'm right on the side of I was down the hill, so you couldn't see me from the road, on the side of the bridge, on the water, with a stick trying to get a leaf out so I could smell it. I got it. I smelled it. It just smelled like pond water. So I knew it wasn't a bacteria. I knew it wasn't oil, but it did not look
Wasn't
good.
it originally milky white?
Oh.
It had an oily sheen to it. But it broke apart. Like you couldn't even get a water sample of it because it wouldn't get into anything. It just dissipated. You couldn't collect it. And like the fire department assumed it wasn't. Assumed it wasn't an oil because it would have made it to Grove Pond. It wouldn't have just stayed at the Barnum Road Bridge. It would have made it through Grove Pond, and you could barely see it. So it was a half a day's worth of phone calls and investigation to figure out what it is, and it was an iron bacteria.
I guess that's a good thing.
I'm just happy I looked, and I was the one that spotted that because if a resident came through and saw what I saw that morning, our phones would have blown up because it did not.
That's interesting. Because I think I've seen this in other spots and had thought the same thing. It's like, ooh, that's.
Doesn't look good, but yeah,
Oil somewhere.
it ends up being an iron bacteria, which is just one of those things like, yep, that's just what it is. It's a naturally occurring thing from a dense amount of plant decay. That just happens on occasion depending on drought, water usage. It's upstream. It's not in Grove Pond. It's coming in from Bowers Brook from the Devon's Harvard side. So, because the water chestnuts are more in Grove Pond, this is more in the brook that feeds into it.
Compost, transfer station spot up that way maybe, is that possible?
No, I don't know. No, we don't know what's coming, but that's, yeah.
All right, question's over.
Okay. No, that's fine. Thank you for reminding me of that. I ran around doing that last week and forgot all about it.
Is that it? Okay, I have one thing that I'll bring up, but afterwards, so
It's okay, I apologize,
this is gonna take a while, so you can come up.
Hello again.
Your kids were good.
I reached out to Heather with regard to what the parameters of the Conservation Commission are. I know specifically in our bylaws online, there is parameters for, I think, the planning board and maybe the preservation committee, but I just didn't see this one. And just as I'm trying to understand the functionality, I guess, of each board within the town, I just wanted to understand where I could find that information and if I had to request it or if it's on a website somewhere, but I just couldn't find it. So I just wanted to follow up with that email.
Yeah, I apologize for that. I got lost in items. I'm trying to find that information because again, it's not in our. I couldn't find anything in our bylaw. I try to see if I can find if there's something different in the town code. If there's a different section there, I don't know. And then when I search it online to the state's website, I just get like. If any of you've searched like the chapters and sections, and you just get like 30 pages of screen to screen words straight down, and it's finding the actual, because to search the state's legislation for this information as far as like the rules and regulations of conservation commissions, they throw in other boards and commissions in there, so you end up having to read 30 pages of text to find the one section you're looking for, and it's not always the easiest thing to find, but I will look into that for you, and I will respond to your email. I apologize for that.
I know that you're very busy. Obviously, you were just investigating a potential like oil spill.
The
that
oil
wasn't
spill,
an
and
oil
then,
spill.
yeah.
So I know you're out and
So
about.
you're just looking for
Like what the heck we're supposed to be doing?
what our
Right.
what our roles and responsibilities are based on.
Is it on like maybe like MACC site, maybe just has it summarized?
They might, MACC might have it summarized. I'll look through them.
I think, is that the Massachusetts
Association of Conservation Commissions.
So they do have, I actually reached out to them
Okay, good.
specifically, and they mentioned that to follow up with the local conservation commission. So I'm here right now following up.
They're so helpful.
So,
If you start with chapter 40, section 8C.
chapter 40, section 8C.
Yeah,
Okay.
that just establishes, very short for establishing a conservation commission. It was written a long time ago before the Wetlands Protection Act.
And I apologize. This is on our.
State.
This is the state.
Mass General
Okay.
Law.
Yeah, MGL.
Okay. Just because I was looking at the conservation, I was looking at the Conservation Commission for a long time, and I know that initially you all were, I just was confused about the different changes that I believe happened with regard to the description of the Conservation Commission, so I just didn't know where those changes came from. I believe on the website. So, anywho, so I was just checking in with that. But I was also just checking in because, oh goodness, what is it? Winthrop Avenue. I'm just checking in with you all. I know that it's not wetlands, but it's a large section of trees that's being cut down for our parking lot, and so I just didn't know, I read Heather's note about the section, but I just didn't know if there are any updates with regard to, I don't know, the decisions made, about, it just seems like a very natural section that's being cut away, so, is there anyone that looks after, like, ecological projects that are like that within the town? Or is that just the planning board and then you get to cut down all the trees and that's that?
I mean, our legal jurisdiction is established by the Wetland Protection Act, which defines it as wetlands in their buffer zones or riverfront area, and beyond that.
That's it.
That's it. So legally, we don't have jurisdiction.
No, I
But
know.
within the town,
But
we have a tree warden, right?
Correct, yeah, the DPW has a tree warden, they oversee all town trees.
Town trees.
Town trees. The planning board has in their site, plan regulations,
Are they town trees only, or are they also danger trees?
it's just town trees.
So like if I had a tree that was on my property but leaning over the road,
I think if it's a private property, that the tree, if it's a privately owned tree that's a hazard to the public way, that might, but I don't know what the rules and regulations are for the tree warden, that's overseen by the DPW. In regards to your question, that all falls on the purview of the planning board, because anything outside the conservation commission jurisdiction, we cannot do, and then that would fall under the, if there's nothing else in town, it's the planning board. If nothing's in there, then we don't have any rules or regulations for that.
I guess the best
Okay.
thing you could think about, right, is if you think about the development right up the top of the hill there, right? So since it's not our jurisdiction, but it's this subdivision plan, the best thing we can do is say, hey, planning board, we think this has conservation value, right? Which is kind of what we did to the extent that we could. You know, we provided insight and we provided information with regards to, we don't think it's a great idea, to rip down all these trees and do this and do that. So we kind of, giving you some ideas and recommendations, but at the end of the day, private property, they can sort of do what they want as long as the planning board basically approves it.
Right, yeah, no, I got that bit from all of the previous meetings. I was referring
but I'm
to
just
the
saying,
new.
in general,
yeah.
I mean, somebody that has 40 acres, they don't have to develop it, but if they want to cut the trees down, that's their trees.
Well,
Right? And they
their
can log
choice.
it and then plant more trees, and then they can, their next generation
If
can cut.
they had 40 acres, they could put it in chapter 61 and they could get a tax write-off for putting in logging and forestry, and they could cut it all down, yeah.
I guess I was just concerned, because I grew up in a library, and actually a children's room. And so one of the books that was really near and dear to my heart was The Lorax. And I wrote an email to Danny, and this is in reference to the planning board, and different situations that are arising there. But it came to my attention that, a lot of folks that are near all of these the new construction, potentially might really need to buy air purifiers because of all of the dust and all of the things that are getting taken away. And so it just kind of struck a chord of like, I don't know if you guys saw the movie, but they all pay for air tanks because all of the trees get cut down. And so it's marketed to them as something new and innovative. But I guess the parallels were there. And so I just felt like I needed to bring it up to you guys, just as an alert. Like, we already are dealing with a lot of pollution from different areas within the town. But I just felt it warranted me just mentioning it.
A lot of people on Earth.
There are a lot of people on Earth.
More and more.
They need trees to breathe.
They have homes too, right?
No, they
Houses to live
absolutely.
in.
No, they do, but at the same time, we have solutions.
before you move on, could I just take that and, is there any update on that, what the DEP or the state's trying to do with rewriting, was it that thing we just reviewed, Mass Save?
Mass Ready Act?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I haven't heard anything back on that.
Yeah, that's a thing where the state may or may not.
There's a whole other thing with that too, is in regards to, and if you feel like writing another letter to your local, the Stormwater Handbook and the Wetland Protection Act were supposed to be updated, that went through public input last year, and we were supposed to get the new stormwater handbook, beginning of summer, or late spring. You know, haven't gotten that yet, and we've been waiting for the new regulations for the Wetland Protection Act, which takes into account, it adds a eighth, intent of the act, which is climate change, which we do not have in there now. That was in there, but we're just sitting there waiting for the state to release it.
Yes, I did.
Our hands are just tied.
I'm sorry. I was just gonna say I did at least attempt to read that. It was very dense reading, I suppose. So yeah, there's a
General
lot that can
laws are-
changes that can happen. So I just, you know, I just felt that I needed to bring it up to you guys, and I appreciate you. And so I will circle back to you, and then
Yep.
yeah,
I will
alrighty.
read through, see if I can find some.
And I'll
Roles and
read-
responsibilities for the Conservation Commission.
Yeah,
for
it
you.
just seems open on the
It's there, it's just when you read through, because like Georgia, it was established, because the Wetland Protection Act went into effect, but there was conservation commissions before that, because it went, oh, we're just gonna give it to the cities and towns to figure out, they'll make a commission. And then that didn't go so well after so many years, so they created the act after that. And then there was an act before that, before they went to that one, so it's going back to something that was written probably in the 50s, I'm gonna assume, or late, so then you gotta find that whole thing and then read that act of legislation from whatever.
Well, I can do that. I just didn't know where to start. So yeah, I'm happy to.
If you get interested enough in it and you get a pro of searching the state's website, you can find some very interesting things. But it does take it's the same thing as searching the Registry of Deeds. It does take an act of a little bit of skill to figure out how to do those searches a little bit better. But the information's on there. It's just a matter of being able to find it. But I think if I can search things and maybe give you some hints of sections to look at, that might help.
Yeah, I think just an official thing. I just, I don't, like, not saying that, you just made up the rules one day and then came here and sat in but it's just like, is there a document that you have to follow? I know that the wetland protections, are what you follow suit with, but, okay. Alrighty, well, thank you so much.
Thank you. This coming November is the time to do a change as far as offices in the commission. And it's supposed to be a yearly rotation. And I'm not asking anyone to be the chair. I'm just asking if there was someone who might take over the minutes.
Permanently?
Well, for a year.
If you're fine with substandard minutes for a year, then I'm happy to take over Jess's position for a year.
I never once saw your minutes as substandard.
Perhaps you did not read them. No, yeah.
Oh, I read them. I was looking for all kinds of incorrect things, and it was.
Yeah, they're not as good as Jess, but I'm happy to do it.
Well, so John seems to really want to be let go from the seat for a while.
I'm the clerk now, I can't.
You'll become the clerk?
It's just that I think that it's good to have different.
Unless Mark or
Eyes,
George
different.
want to.
Well, as the vice chair, typically the vice chair would move up.
Well, Mark is working full-time.
Typically.
Mark, I'm also working full-time for a whole year.
The only difference is that as the chair, you do meetings during the day, and you two can't do that easily. And Jess is retired and seems
George
to be
doesn't want
willing
it.
to
Right.
take over the position of chair.
Oh, boy.
So, but not until like November. 'Cause-
So, do you want me to put
Correct.
that on the agenda in November?
Yeah.
To do a board reorg? Okay, which we only have one meeting because of Thanksgiving.
I won't be at the next meeting, and I'm uncertain about the following September meeting, so depends on how knee replacement goes.
That'd be great. Ooh,
Well, I
Ken's
guess I
did.
prepare for the worst and then it's all much better.
I think the only change is going to be the meetings are going to be better run.
I
Yes.
don't think so.
I'm always going, I don't know what I'm doing here.
You're great.
Yeah,
Stop.
yeah, that's the way I've been saying it too.
Should watch the
Great job.
sustainability committee meetings that I run. You're doing fine.
Well, I got thrust into it pretty quickly, because Bill left, right when I joined, right?
Well,
And then George took it over for a year, and then nobody else would. So it was like trial by fire. Then I remember at my first meeting.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my goodness. That's when, yeah, that was fun. Yeah. Anyway,
All right,
so
okay.
that's,
All right, well, I have those notes. I'll put that on the meeting for November, that we do board reorganization. And I have another, Jess will be out the next two.
very good. Makes me happy.
So you're gonna go to vice chair?
No, no, no. Why would I do that?
As long as you all stay in, that's all.
It's like going to,
Well,
going to the
Heather,
back.
it goes without saying that if we're staying, you have to
I'll stay if you stay.
stay. It's said on camera.
I'll stay if you stay.
What happens if we all leave?
Oh, boy. It's the select board.
Yeah, the select board would have to fill in.
We do have
That'd
to
be great.
make sure that we're organized together.
Sort of like the end of Mary Tyler
That's true.
Moore's show. Remember where they did the
Yes.
huddle?
And then they
Then they walked off the set. Anyway.
Okay, anyway.
Anything else? Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Oh, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have done that. Public input.
Any more?
Okay.
Oh,
We just wanted to say
I think you all did your public in.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Okay, but you need to scoot, right?
I just want to get home before too late, because make sure my kids go to bed. They don't have school tomorrow, so it's okay.
Okay. Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Passes unanimous.